You're getting a ton of drone kills. I don't know if it was a ton. I just saw one and assumed it was a ton. I do that. Looks like we have 2 Archon push coming up here. Getting 2 Archons out with Zealot speed to pressure usually the 3rd expansion. This is what you see on Destination. And we're going to see it on Heartbreak Ridge. So there's a good SimCity over here. It takes a while for the Zealots to get up to that sunken colony, but there's really a lot of damage being laid down here on EffOrt's expansion. Not a lot of units being able to push out because EffOrt has lost so many overlords. He's losing a ton more now. Spore colony having to go up, and that's really not a good sign when you use a spore colony to take out Corsair. It's not a terribly good sign. Tons of overlords going down, and there's more going down. Oh my gosh! I wish I could see EffOrt's side count. It would be terrible right now, and this might be the game right here. Bisu's taking out a whole lot of crap. Okay, never mind. That's not the game. What am I saying? Silly me. EffOrt able to combat that attack, but more Zealots are streaming down here. I can only imagine how many overlords EffOrt's lost. Jeez, that sucks. They are so slow. And the forge is flaming. I don't know when that got attacked. But, it did. I'm surprised Bisu wasn't using his Dark Templar. It looked like he was going for Sarah DT, but after he'd taken out all the overlords, he had no Dark Templar to kill stuff. Bisu coming here with a ton of Zealots. And I don't think he has observers in the area. Yeah, I don't think he has observers in the area, so this Lurker is going to be scratching away at these Zealots. But they're taking out a ton of drones. Sun Colony also over there to let on some more pressure. And the Corsair are going to come in here. And none of the Corsair get sniped at all. I don't believe. Actually, what is killing? Oh, it's Hydralisks taking out the Corsairs. I saw Corsairs explode, but I didn't know it was hurting them. So, Bisu's gotten through the mineral block, and EffOrt cleverly using his little lurker egg block to keep the Zealots out. So, these Zealots aren't going to get much done anymore. They have free reign, no longer. And Bisu's going to use this chance to expand at his northernmost expansion. So, EffOrt really behind here. Bisu's almost done with his tech. He's got his ropers up, he's got observers up. So yeah, Bisu's done with his tech, and now he's expanding. EffOrt really needs to take another expansion or start amassing an army and start harassing Bisu. Either take another expansion or drop. The big drop on Bisu's base would be a good way to get EffOrt back in this game. He just really needs to do something to Bisu. Bisu's had too long and no drones on gas at the expansion, the observer was pointing out. So it looks like EffOrt's really hurting. He's really using all his larvae to pump out as many units as possible to combat all of Bisu's pressure that he's laying down. He's got +1 on Carapace and Spines for his Hydras. And Bisu's pushing out here with a ton of forces. High Templar, Dragoons, Zealots, and only a few Hydralisks. If there's as many Hydralisks as there are Dragoons, that's really not a good sign, because the storm just makes such a huge difference. One Lurker morphing. And EffOrt's getting a few Mutalisks to snipe High Templar, which is so annoying. I recommend that Zergs not do that. I recommend that as a Protoss player, that you don't get Mutas and snipe my High Templar. That's my recommendation. You can ask a Zerg. They'll probably tell you something different, but coming from me, I say, to hell with Muta. And actually, Muta is being used to snipe observers. Sheesh. 3 observers shot down by EffOrt. Good job by him. And now, Bisu is being used to force to use his storms on the Mutas, which you don't want to do because Mutas are so agile, they can just run around. And EffOrt's actually been able to mass up an SS force, and Bisu's going to be pushed back because Hydras attack so much faster than Dragoons. So, great job by EffOrt pumping out a ton of units. Bisu's going to come in here and try to take out these Muta with his Corsair. But there's no storming and no Zealots in the area to absorb the fire of the Hydralisks. Now the Hydralisks are going to be pushed back, but there's a lot of goon blood all over that mountainside. Good job by EffOrt. He was in a tough spot, losing a ton of overlords, a ton of drones as well. He didn't have any drones on gas, and he was able to stay calm under pressure and macro up and able to amass a good enough size force to push Bisu back when he tried to make a push on the map. So good job to EffOrt. He's merely making an effort. High Templar streaming down here. Bisu's going to try to maintain his map control. He doesn't want to let EffOrt get more comfortable than he already is. And Bisu's expanding again up here at the top left. EffOrt catches this and is going to come up here and try to stop this before it gets underway. He's got a couple cannons warping in, and EffOrt's going to pull back. Those cannons are so darn fragile. They're like made of glass. Like crappy glass. It's not even like bulletproof glass. It's like, oh, the worst glass. They're so fragile, especially when they're warping in. There's like 2 Zerglings attacking it as it warps in, and then it just disappears. And you're like, what? An entire photon cannon? 2 Zerglings? What is wrong with my photon cannons? I think my photon cannons are weaker than professional players' photon cannons. Bisu, very first close-up. Zoom in, zoom in, zoom in. Fade out, fade out, fade out. I wish I was good at StarCraft, and I wish it was also attractive, so that the camera would zoom in on me when I played, but no. EffOrt in here, trying to snipe High Templar as they transfer to the army in the middle of the base. So we got 1 High Templar snipe from EffOrt. EffOrt's really in a lot of trouble here, just because Bisu's taking so many expansions. If you're looking at this game, you would think that yellow was the Zerg, and that the orange was the Protoss, because that's really what should be happening here. Bisu's got so many expansions going down. You don't want to get behind the Protoss and expansions. EffOrt coming in here, trying to make contact with Bisu's army. Bisu has too many units, too many storms going down. Great storms by Bisu, hitting all the Hydralisks. His Corsairs get sniped, but EffOrt has no overlords in the area, and there's Dark Templar in the mix. Bisu actually going to pull back, not going to push EffOrt all the way back. Bisu's going to take the time to gather his army back up and make a stronger push somewhere. Bisu's got to be feeling great. Not only is he ahead, or not only like if you're tied with a Zerg in expansions, you should be feeling good enough. But he's actually ahead of the Zerg. I don't think I've seen a game where a Protoss has been able to get ahead of the Zerg in expansions. So this is looking pretty bad for EffOrt. But EffOrt's a very good Zerg, so I'm sure he can do something magical. Tons of photon cannons up here, the northernmost expansion, or the northwesternmost expansion for EffOrt. Bisu having to storm the mutas. Great storms by Bisu, catching most of the mutas, but losing his observers and High Templar, I believe. So EffOrt really doing a lot with a small army. Small army. This is very Jaedong-like, working off a small economy. It seems like to be the new trend. Zerg's like working off the low econ build. But Bisu's got a ton of reinforcements coming here and reinforce, and this is really the last of what EffOrt has. Archon morphed in, gets taken out. But Bisu's going to be able to push in here, and this will probably be GG pretty soon. Bisu's got a ton of reinforcements streaming in. EffOrt's only just now getting his expansion in the bottom right, but that's not going to finish before Bisu pushes into his main and takes out his hatcheries. I don't know what EffOrt's going to be able to do to take this out. 2 Templar storming the heck out of 2 Hydralisks that don't exist anymore. Sun Colony goes down. Drones are being pulled off the lines to try and defend against this push, but Bisu's got too many reinforcements streaming in. And there's the GG from EffOrt right before Bisu storms the heck out of all of his gas mining drones. Jeez. So, great job by Bisu. Good to see why he is the #1 player in the Pro League. Wearing the SKT1 jersey, a jersey I will own soon, because I got one from TL. I'm giving it to my sister, though, because she is autistic and she likes StarCraft, so I figured I'd get her a little jersey, because she likes SKT1. She likes how they have wings on the little side. She calls them the T1 wings. So, big shout out to little Susie for getting me that jersey. So, Kyla really appreciates it. That's her name. So, anyway, we're going to move on to set number 2 here between SKT1 and CJ Entus. GG.